Hi, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. I am Mike of Nearly Enough Dice. Who do I think I am going to send one of my scientists out this time around? Well, that's not good. He immediately... Oh no, he's alright. I thought he was immediately kind of falling off and into space and stuff. He was kind of upside down, but that turned out to not be a problem. So, alright, we are going to go... And we're going to grab as much science off the lander as possible. So I've got the materials bay I want to grab. There'll be temperature data, which probably isn't going to get me that much. Seismic data, which I think isn't going to get me that much, because I think all of these are experiments that have been done already. Okay, so I need to go on the other side. The one thing I do not know how to do with the Kerbal noughts is how to make them change their up and downy facing. I think part of it is, I'm currently on orbital, which tries to make the planet you're orbiting up and down to the right. Well, up and down with north being up. And so you can see there's a problem in trying to get close enough to that to grab the data. Oh, there we go. Click data. Remove data. So I might as well just continue at this kind of level and just nip round the side. Can I get an EVA report? Ooh, keep that. So I'm going to get the other mystery goo. Probably isn't going to get me that much extra information, but never mind. Let's keep the lights on this helmet. Not usefully, it seems. Collect data. Now this is where I'd really quite like to be able to change. So I can change which direction it's facing by changing the camera. Oh, hang on. I just back here again. I want to be on top, whatever it is that. There we go, there we go, there we go. Whoop. Okay, so I want to grab thermometer data. Collect the data from the Science Junior, which will render it inoperable, but that's fine, I can fix that. And the accelerometer. No gravioli, because this was a pre-gravioli instrument. Which reminds me, I should take gravioli data off Pallas 8. So just going to head back. Now, I haven't bothered to turn off the ladder because I thought it might be useful just in case. I seem to be on about the right levels, so let's slow down a little bit. So, I mean, I think it might give me a better platform to grab onto. Let's store our experiments. Grab on. And board. That was very successful. I'm quite pleased with that. Now, Alt F5. So, while I'm here, we will clean all our experiments. Let's get rid of some stuff there. Get rid of that for a moment as well. I want to check my... So you can see that actually takes about a fair amount of electrical power, but not so much that it's a problem. Now this is, so I've got 191, 181 fuel in both of those. Trying to think of a reason of keeping the Pallas 6 rover. I certainly don't want it attached because that's going to cause problems. Unless I want to sit it, I actually can't because I don't have any fuel on it, so I can't. I was thinking maybe sitting it on top of one of these docking ports here, but I'm not going to be able to do that without being able to control it, and I can't control it without putting fuel into it. I don't want to put fuel into it. Right, there we go. So I mean, quite frankly, what I want to, I think the only thing to do at this point is to just drop it in this orbit and come back to it later, assuming the 1.0 version of Kerbal Space Program doesn't invalidate all of this, because it could in fact mean that all my saves just don't work, and that's a thing I need to think about. So I'm trying to think if there's any reason to not just drop it off into space right now. Now I could in theory drain a certain amount from these tanks into here, maneuver it over, put it on here, and then I would go. The idea was I would then grab Pallas 8, which is going to be about the same weight. And you know, after it's finished, because it's got some stuff to do as well. But after it's grabbed its science, it could sit on top, and they could all travel back. But I think I might as well just leave it here. That is my current thinking. So what I could do is I could just send Athena back as is. I could grab Pallas 8 and fetch these, which I could do anyway because you know, it's the science isn't going to be hugely important, because I think these are all just lowlands. They're the exact same. So basically, it's going to be the contract that's the main thing at that point. And I should have enough delta V just in Pallas 8 on its own to get there, to change orbit, get there, grab those, and then get back into orbit. At which point, assuming I don't just lose everything at 1.0, I can go fetch, I can send fuel back and sort things out from there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to detach the tug, . Right, so now I'm now Athena, and Athena has 873 meters per second delta V. Does raise a question. So I'm going to go to my Kerbal Space app on my tablet. Going to go to a mission planner. Going to junk the mission that's there because that's very old. And we're going to start from Moon orbit. And we're going to add. To start off with, I'm just going to go for Kerbin orbit. That's only 310. That's hardly any. So if I then go to Kerbin land, oh, actually that's 0 meters per second. That doesn't seem right. So I should be well sorted for getting back. And I've established that these engines are surprisingly well balanced, given that I put them on myself. Let's just quickly go to this crew here and we'll just back off a little bit. We'll turn on RCS and then just back off a little bit. And then we'll kill our forward velocity. So we're basically station keeping is what I want at this stage. Right, so let's put the ladders away. And just leave these two here. I've got the tug in the tug's got quite a lot of delta V still, which is quite impressive actually. So the tug can do some useful things. Yeah. Okay, so when do I want to go? Now the moon's going this way, and I'm going this way around the moon. I think I want to run prograde when I'm facing Kerbin, when I'm on the same way as Kerbin, because that way, when I'm this way is prograde as far as Kerbin is concerned, or as far as my orbit with Kerbin is concerned. The other way is retrograde as far as Kerbin is concerned. So if I point what the moon thinks is prograde when I'm on the other side of the moon, that should put me in a Kerbin orbit. Oh well, I'm in a Kerbin orbit, but that should break me free from the moon and then put me on a lower orbit with Kerbin. And in theory, I can start to do things. So I want to maybe put my my Kerbin periapsis at about 4,500, 45 kilometers. And I'll almost certainly want to make some adjustments because I'll be on I'm going to be quite. Well, I might not be actually. So I'm a bit aligned. A bit inclined, but quite frankly, I'm not sure I care too much. Right, let's click on that. Oh, what did I say? I said 45, didn't I? 45 might not be enough, actually, but let's go for 40. That should give me enough aero braking. I probably want to err on the side of not too much aero braking on the grounds that my ship is held together with docking ports. And there is the possibility of just falling apart, which would be kind of bad. Shall we do this? I'm going to do quick save just in case I decide I don't want to. It feels really weird because I've been in orbit. You know, I've had this in the moon for fucking ages. I mean, parts of the ship have been going for 100 days in Kerbal terms. 100 days, that's quite a lot, actually. So, right, let's go for it. Make sure I'm using the Athena I CPU and not the Big Tug CPU. Well, interesting. Pallas was saying he didn't have a CPU, would you? You probably should have done. There should have been a couple of on. Oh no, the Big Tug CPU is in fact Pallas' CPU. So they don't really need to switch to this. Switch to 0. I don't need to worry about pointing the wrong way because Athena does point the right way. Calc ISP print ISP print ship max thrust. Got some max thrust. It's also got the right amount of max thrust, which is what I want it to have. Run calc burn time ISP next node delta V mag print burn time 98 seconds. That's quite a while. God, this is really nerve-wracking. I really wanted to land this beast on the moon, but I didn't. I don't know the right way of doing it. Plus, I've got this stupid decoupler stuck on the back end of it, which is really annoying. Let's say 98 seconds, so call it 50 seconds either side. Give it 10 seconds. Yeah, let's go for 80 seconds. See how far we can walk. I don't think we won't be able to walk that far. Honestly, don't know what. Yeah, well, which direction will we? We'll be going this way, so we're going to go out quite a way. But the main things is what the apoapsis is going to be. Sorry, the periapsis, and I'll have some opportunities to make some adjustments later if I really care. Oh, I'm really scared now. I shouldn't be. I know this thing flies. I know this thing flies. I had to fly it to get here. I've had to fly it to not smash into the ground on occasion. Yeah, I can fly this thing. It's fine. It's all going to be cool. It's not the most maneuverable thing in the world, but then it doesn't really need to be most of the time. Probably could have done with chucking some monoprop into it from the big tug. But I didn't, so there we go. Oh. Don't crash! You are not allowed to crash. Crashing is bad. Oh. I got some monoprop on there. Okay, so at about 50 seconds, so about 20 seconds from now, Jebediah looking happy, everyone else looking absolutely glad that their spacesuits have waste reclamation facilities. Let's put it that way. Jebediah is so happy. Can you see his mates from here? Apparently you can double click all over the place and just there's all sorts of places you can examine the spaceship from. Right, I shall not fiddle. I'll go back to this view. No, oh, why am I frightened? Look at it! Look at it! Look at it! Screenshot, I think. There's no turning back now. Well, I've got a quick save, but but other than that, there's no turning back now. Oh dear me. Oh, that's a nice. Oh, right. Don't know if it's actually taking screenshots. I'm not hearing the little noise, but I might not. Sorry, I'm just taking screenshots. Let's see. That's fun. I like that one. If I'm not getting the screenshots, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. Ooh, that's nice. Oh, it's a pity the sun's not quite in the right position. Let's put the G. Let us put the GUI back on. Graphic user interface. There we go. So grab that, click on that, see if that's going to, how well we're going to approach what the landing should be. Yeah, it's already looking a bit. The inclination. I mean, I don't mind the inclination not being as great as the predicted orbit, but I will admit to being slightly worried if the orbit isn't the same. I do still got quite a bit to go, so bring that back up. Not that this tells me anything, because I haven't actually told it to. The program doesn't give me that information. So the inclination is wrong. When what? Yeah, it's kind of. I have to admit. Well, if the inclination is wrong, what else is going to be wrong? But oh, my pulse is going like a mile a minute. So stressed. No, it's getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. And I can always adjust. Is the thing. I'm going to be heading towards the periapsis. So the apoapsis. All right. So I was a little off. So I'm going to do my adjustments here, actually. Quick save. Named quick save at that. Goodbye moon. Fundamentally. So what I'm going to do is going to add an alarm clock to the SOI change. Because that way I won't be working off predictions of orbit, I'll be working off what the actual orbit is. Or at least it's going to be a slightly less what? I'm just hoping that that is something to do with the fact that, yes, okay, thank you very much for that. That was really worrying. What was that? Still got 38. Peri what's it? Periapsis. Right. I think fundamentally we just go for it from here. So, join me again next time for arrow breaking in a thing held together with docking ports. What could go wrong? Should I have gone for a gentler approach? I ask myself. Almost certainly. So my periapsis is 38. But then again, I do have a certain amount of delta V left. If I'm really scared, I should have enough to establish just a straight orbit. At which point I've got a tug that can go and it's got some fuel. All right, so we're going to do one more quick save. Athena on the way. And I'm going to say thanks so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe if you've been enjoying these videos. Join us at nearlyenoughdice.com for our role-playing game themed podcast and blog. Nearly Enough Dice is also on Twitter and Facebook if you want to go searching for us there. And until next time, reach for the stars.